Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Gabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, that I pray that you find edifying. And you Jakes are about to go through it, you know. Your dainties are being converted, to abominable things. And, that's just the nature of this demon, you know. Whereas, he's putting things out there that he knows are defiling unto you. But, you Jakes are ignorant. You have no knowledge of what this devil is trying to do to you or what this devil has done to you. But he's about to do a lot more, and it's about to get a lot worse. And one of the things that he's got laid out for you, as well as the mass population, is for them to eat bugs, and a lot of people ain't gonna go for it, and a lot of people ain't gonna have no choice, But this is an article off of shithitthefan.com in Salakia. I'm coming down with a cold. You know what I'm saying? This thing just hit me out of nowhere one night, while I was sleeping, and I feel it in the back of my throat. I got that groggy sounding voice. But nonetheless, what I'm saying? I'm drinking my mullein tea, with my pure honey that I got from this Edomite at the plantation, what I'm saying, who actually has a beehive, what I'm saying, and he just brings me stuff. But nonetheless, and that's neither here nor there, but the point of the article is, a lot of the food choices that you make won't be food choices at all. It'll be something that you'll be forced to do. So let me get into this article, and it reads, 12 facts that prove that people all over the globe are already eating the bugs on a regular basis. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua said that we would do that. He said that our food would be defiled. Salakia. Like I said, I'm coming down with a cold. I'm trying to knock this shit out as quick as possible. But I'm going to get a precept, and then I'm going to go into this article. This is a book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 13. And it reads, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. And that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been eating defiled foods all along. Here it is. You got a generation that possibly don't know what real food tastes like. I mean, you pretty much have a generation that has never tasted real water, real this or real that. You know what I'm saying? Everything is somewhat of a synthetic combination of ingredients created in the lab. So a lot of people just don't know what real food is. But nonetheless, I'm going to get into this article. It's dated August 28th, 2024. And it reads, are you ready to eat bugs? For a long time, we have been told that eating the bugs is just a conspiracy theory. But as you will see below, more than 2 billion people around the world already eat bugs on a regular basis. More than 2,000 types of edible insects are being consumed, and bug ingredients are increasingly used in common foods that we purchase in grocery stores. In fact, you may or you could potentially be consuming products that contains insect ingredients without even realizing it. So anyone who tries to tell you eating the bugs is a conspiracy theory is not being honest with you. The followings are 12 facts that prove that people all over the globe are already eating the bugs on a regular basis. And that is true. A lot of people are eating bugs. You know, the FDA over here in Babylon the Great has a certain percentage of insects that they allow in food. They allow a certain amount of rat droppings in food. They allow a certain amount of wood chips in food. They allow a certain amount of alien particulates in food that should not otherwise be the case, and is getting worse because the actual examination of food has been so horrific over the past 5 years or even 10 years or possibly even longer that a lot of people are actually getting sick from common foods. And what I mean by common foods, I mean common meats, common flours, common vegetables, common water. So this place is completely defiled. So eating bugs is the least of a lot of you Jake's worries, because very soon the scriptures say that you will be eating yourselves. But that's another lesson for another day. Number one, according to the United Nations, there are over 12 billion people who eat insects as part of their normal diet right now. More than 12 billion people worldwide consume insects regularly, according to the United Nations, which a decade ago began pushing pets as a sustainable super protein for humans. Pets and livestock that can benefit the environment and create jobs in developing countries. And these other heathen countries have already been doing that. There are certain places in China and Vietnam and Japan and all of these heathenistic countries. They've already been eating animals that a lot of people over here in Babylon the Great covet as pets, that look at as being a part of their family. So these other nations have been already eating what you call pets, i.e. cats, dogs, rabbits, and shit like that. So that's nothing new. But what is new is it's going to be a common dietary staple, in Babylon the Great if this place continued to go on. Number two, a report that was recently published in a major scientific journal says that 2,205 different kinds of insects are now being consumed all over the globe. Now, we as Israelites, we were given a law, and based on that law, we were told that there were certain foods that we should eat and certain foods that we shouldn't eat, and I'm pretty sure that there aren't 2,205 various forms of grasshoppers and other creeping things that are lawful for us to eat. I'm pretty sure this devil's throwing spiders in there and, other abominable creepy crawlers in the mix, because again, he is one that was created to be crooked. He was put there, he was put in place for a reason. And that reason was the chastisement of Yasharallah, and to also be the nation that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will destroy in an hour. So this devil is just doing what he was created to do, but he's making it hard for a lot of you jakes that don't want to go along with eating insects on a regular basis as a part of your diet, as your diet, I should say. Reading on, a 2024 report titled "The Global Atlas of Edible Insects: Analysis of Diversity and Commonly Contributing to Food Systems and Sustainability" has identified 2,205 species consumed around 128 countries. And I'm pretty sure that those 2,205 species are not lawful species. Some of them may be, but I'm pretty sure a majority of them are not, you know? And that's just how these heathens get down. These heathens actually get down with eating lawful foods. So, like, give me a minute to drink some tea. It's a lot. So, reading on with the article, published in the science journal Nature. It notes that Asia has the highest number of edible insects, 932 species, followed by North America, namely Mexico and Africa. The countries with the highest consumption of insects are Mexico, which is 452 species, Thailand, 272 species, India, 262 species, China, 235 species, and Japan, 123 species. So these heathen nations have always been doing these things. They have no dietary law. They have no law to dictate what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat. So they're just doing exactly what they're created to do, and that's to be heathens. But we of Yasharallah were given a law. We were given, a list of things, what to eat and what not to eat. And I'll go into that a little bit dealing with this article. But let me read on. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a few and just break out a few precepts and close out on that, you know what I'm saying? And if any of you brothers want to go back and read the article, you can follow the title on shithitthefanplan.com. Number 3, according to CNN, Singapore has approved 16 different types of edible insects for sale and consumption. Singapore's State Food Agency has approved 16 edible species of insects for sale and consumption in the country. According to a July 8th public circular addressed to food traders with immediate effect, SFA will allow import of insects and insect products belonging to species that have been assessed to be of low regulatory concern. The Singapore Food Agency, SFA, said in its release, insects approved by the SFA include locusts, which is lawful, grasshoppers, which is lawful, mealworms, unlawful, and several species of beetles, which I believe are not lawful. These insects and insect products can be used for human consumption or as animal feed for food producing animals. SFA said adding insects cannot be harvested from the wild. So they harvesting these motherfuckers on their own. The largest insect farm in the entire world is located in France. And those France motherfuckers are just wicked anyway, bro. In Europe, France is the center of the European insect farming for animal and plant feed. A biotechnology company, Innovative Food, Innova-Feed, owns the world's largest insect farm at 55,000 square meters that produces 15,000 tons of protein a year. Now, there's nothing wrong with eating there's nothing wrong with eating various types of insects. And as a matter of fact, let me get that because, when going on with this article, it stated what they have allowed over there in Singapore. And again, bros, Salakia, if I'm sniffling or if my voice sound groggy, but, I'm trying to get over this little situation that I got just recently. So, the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, And let me see if this thing is going to start up. 11 and 21. Uh, and it reads, Ye may eat, Salat, yet these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap without, Salat, to leap withal upon the earth. And those are your grasshoppers and your lotuses. Even these of them ye may eat. The lotus after his kind, and what is after the kind of a lotus? A grasshopper. A lotus after his kind, and the ball locust after his kind, and the beetle. So the beetle is lawful. So you can eat a beetle. So everything that the article said that, you know, well, almost everything that the article said as far as being transferred over there into Singapore is almost lawful, with the exception of mealworms, which I don't see it under the lawful foods. Let me see. Everything after his kind, the ball locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. You know? So, Yahweh Shem Yahushua laid it out plainly, the things that you are to eat and the things that you are not to eat in terms of insects. Get this shit out of me. Salakia. So, you know, it is no surprise that, you know, this devil is doing everything that he wants to do to limit what you're able to eat and consume in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle, you know, to maintain your health. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure that there are some children that have never tasted real food a day in their life. You know, and there are some men, women, and there are some people who have actually tasted that transition happening. Myself being one of them. I remember growing up eating a fucking apple and being full off of the apple that I ate early in the morning before I went outside to play. And when I got home, my mom had a full course meal on the table, and of course we had to wait until Pops got home. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the biggest steak or the biggest chicken wing or the biggest style, whatever. But nonetheless, food was not the greatest. You know, it was still that somewhat processed food with some real ingredients. But over the course of the decades, the food have been more and more processed. The way these insects are being harvested and being processed. So even with this, you're not even eating real insects that are out in the wild. You know what I'm saying? You're eating things that are harvested or, you know, fused with biotechnology. You know, there's no reason in the world why any biotechnology company should be producing insects. You know, and that's how you know we need to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because even if the bugs aren't 100% filled with the proper proteins, you know, what more do you have? You know, this devil is just leading, you know, the world into a state of destruction and despair. You know, so let me see if I'm going to break out a few more precepts. Yeah, I'm gonna break out a few more precepts and close up on this article. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that the point was made. And like I said, if any brothers want to read the article, please, you know, do so. And I'm gonna grab, let me see. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 18. Woe was me. Well, actually, I started 17. Woe was me. Who would deliver me in those days? You know, the beginnings of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And that's exactly what's happening. Famine and great death, you know, because very soon a lot of these people aren't going to have, you know, the abundance of foods in their cupboards, where they're going to have to revert to eating insects, whether they like it or not. Now, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said that his servants shall eat, and his servants shall drink, and his servants shall sing for joy. But and Baba Kashal, I pray that I'm one of those men. But nonetheless, a lot of people are going to revert back to eating insects, and a lot of people are going to revert to eating unlawful insects. They're going to try to get in where they can fit in terms of trying to eat. And I'm going to bring out one more precept, to show, I'm going to bring out one more precept, to show that we were not new to eating insects. So I'm going to grab the book of Mark, chapter 1, and I believe in verse 6, to show that, we've eaten insects. Well, we knew about the law in terms of eating certain types of insects. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 1 and verse 6. And John was clothed with camel's hair and with a girdle of a skin about his loins. And he did eat locusts and wild honey. So we knew the lawful foods to eat, That's why the scriptures say, seek out the book of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and read. Read about how our forefathers ate in the wilderness. Read about the edible things that are lawful unto you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be found eating swine's flesh when Yahweh Shai comes back, So, I pray that you found this lesson edifying. And like I said, it's a pretty informative article, in terms of what's already out there and what we've already been eating, and what this devil plans towards the populace to eat. So I'm going to close out on that. And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakahak, Wadash. Shalom.